one silent account emerged. No intro, no replies, just walls of strange, encrypted code, cold, meticulous, and utterly unreadable. Was it a prank, a recruitment test, a message from something darker? Part 1. The first line of code. January 31st, 2011. A Reddit post appears. No context, no title, no explanation. Just a string of text, thousands of characters long, a blocky, binary-looking wall of nonsense, posted by a user no one's seen before. User A858DE45F56D9BC9. At first, no one cared. It was Reddit, after all. A digital town square of chaos. Weird stuff shows up all the time. But then, it didn't stop. The next day, another post, and another. Long, dense strings of letters and numbers. No pattern, no interaction, no explanation, just silence. Every post submitted to a subreddit with a name just as strange, r/A858D45CTR. The subreddit had no banner, no rules, no moderators, just these messages. Every day, consistently, coldly, like clockwork, like a machine. That's when people started paying attention. At first, it was just curiosity. What kind of joke was this? An art project? Spam? Then someone tried decoding it. The earliest attempts failed. Substitution ciphers, ROT13, hex decoders, even image generators. Nothing worked, until someone tried converting the code from base 64, a way of encoding binary data into readable text. And suddenly, a message emerged. Not a confession, not coordinates, not a call for help, just Markovian parallax denigrate. 4 words, meaningless, but familiar to some. You see, that same phrase had shown up before, back in 1996, on Usenet. Another string of mysterious nonsense. Also posted repeatedly. Also never explained. Almost like A858 was referencing a previous internet mystery. A ghost nodding at another ghost. Now the subreddit was growing. Cryptographers, coders, conspiracy theorists. They poured in, trying everything. Hash analyzers, entropy filters, run-length decoding, even AI-generated linguistic models. They cracked another post. It decoded into an ASCII drawing of Stonehenge. Just that. A perfect representation. No caption, just art, made of code. This changed everything. A858 wasn't just dumping random bits. There was intention. There was structure. And, somehow, meaning. But it got stranger. Some messages decoded into short poems, geometric patterns, fragments of famous quotes, strings of dates with no event attached. In one case, a perfectly mirrored palindrome in base 64, each one more confusing than the last. People began theorizing. Was this a recruitment puzzle? An alternate reality game? A distributed AI experiment? One user claimed the posts matched cosmic ray detection logs. Another believed it was a steganography testbed, hiding images inside code. And one Redditor, username now deleted, posted, "This isn't about what the messages say. It's about who tries to read them." That comment got 127 upvotes, then vanished. Account deleted. Post removed. No trace. The deeper the subreddit got, the less clear the goal became. There was no reward. No "you solved it" moment. No escalation. Just an endless drip feed of cryptic entries, some massive, some tiny, all uniformly strange. And through it all, A858 never replied, never upvoted, never commented, never acknowledged anyone. The account acted like a dead drop, a stone slab that only ever spoke out, never in. Some people became obsessed. They formed Discord servers, dedicated decoding bots, mapped every string to a spreadsheet, 1,000 plus posts cataloged. Some even tracked the post timings, looking for sleep patterns, trying to determine if A858 was human. The result? Inconclusive, but unsettling, because the pattern wasn't entirely random. The time of day always changed, but the intervals between posts, they showed rhythm, not machine rhythm, biological rhythm. And then something happened. A user claimed to have solved a post that others couldn't. They posted the decoded result. A strange sentence, broken grammar, seemingly in the voice of someone confused. "Why find me when I am finding you?" That post was removed within the hour. The user's account? Suspended. No reason given. Some called it a hoax. Others took it as confirmation that A858 wasn't just a puzzle. It was a filter. Because the more you watched the subreddit, the more it watched you back. One user claimed their IP was shadow banned after attempting mass decoding. Another said the subreddit began posting at hours when they were awake. Of course, none of this was proven, but it didn't matter, because the feeling had settled in. This was no ordinary Reddit account. This was something else. By late 2012, the mystery had deepened, and Reddit had split. Some saw it as an art project, others a sociological experiment, and a few, the serious ones, had gone offline entirely. They'd taken their research to private channels, encrypted email threads, hidden servers. Why? Because they believed they were being watched. In the next part, we explore how A858 escalated, and how the line between mystery and madness began to blur. Part 2. The Enigma begins. It started without fanfare. No cryptic announcement, no viral campaign. Just a post. On a quiet day in January of 2011, a user appeared on Reddit under the name U/A858D4556D9BC9. The username, long, alphanumeric, forgettable, meant nothing to most. And yet, that same user began posting bizarre strings of text to a single subreddit, r/A858DE45CTR. Each post contained indecipherable code, lines of hexadecimal characters, dense blocks of symbols, and what looked like broken formatting. No context, no explanation. At first, the posts went unnoticed. Even Reddit's sharpest puzzle solvers ignored them. Who was this A858? A bot? A troll? Then came the curiosity. One user, going by the name OutThrowaway, noticed a strange pattern in the formatting, a rhythm to the posts, and more importantly, a signature. The posts weren't random. They followed structure. Some resembled hexadecimal. Others hinted at base 64 encryption. A few contained embedded white space anomalies, too precise to be spam. Someone was speaking. But not in words. Soon, the subreddit, once a digital ghost town, became a gathering point for amateur code breakers, cryptographers, and the truly obsessed. They downloaded the messages, cross-referenced them, ran them through decoders, filters, even image steganography tools. Most came up empty. But one breakthrough changed everything. A post titled 000031, when decoded, revealed something chilling. Not a joke, not a meme, but a sentence. It is dark here, much darker than I thought it would be. That was the moment, the shift. Suddenly, A858 wasn't just a username. It was something else. A mind, an intelligence, perhaps even a warning. But what did it want? There were no calls to action, no links, no recruiting. Just more strings, more puzzles. And the rabbit hole grew deeper. People began to speculate. Some believed it was a test, a vetting process for intelligence agencies. Others thought it was art, a cryptographic novel unfolding in real time. A few whispered darker theories, that the messages were real communications, not meant for the public, but accidentally or deliberately leaked. By 2013, the subreddit had over 5,000 subscribers. Dozens of threads tried to decode the mystery. Files were archived, mirrored, shared on GitHub. But the more people dug, the less they found. Each answer only led to more questions. And through it all, the original poster, A858, remained silent. No replies, no upvotes, no edits. Just the same behavior. One cryptic post after another. Was it watching? Was it waiting? Or was it never meant for us at all? Part 3. The Code Speaks Back. The year is 2013. Almost 3 years have passed since the first string of A858's encrypted messages appeared on Reddit. By now, the subreddit r/A858DE45CTR had gathered a small but fiercely devoted community. Cryptographers, puzzle enthusiasts, internet sleuths, and lurkers, silent, watching, waiting. Most threads were cold, dense hexadecimal code without explanation. But then, a shift. On March 25th, a new message appears. This time, it's different. No more gibberish. The message, once decoded, reads, "We have been watching. Hello again. The path is open." It's the first time A858 speaks like a person, and it sends the subreddit into frenzy. People scramble to dissect the sentence. Is it a joke? A signal? A change in authorship? Who is we? What does "the path is open" mean? Was it addressed to someone specific? Or to everyone? Within hours, More decoded messages follow. Quotes. Questions. Then something even stranger. References to the subreddit itself. Almost like A858 is aware of the people watching it. Posting in response. Messages appear that say, "We are pleased by your progress." And later, "You are not ready." Suddenly, this isn't a one-way transmission anymore. It's a dialogue. Or worse, a test. More users join the hunt. They bring in tools, brute force decoders, pattern recognizers, frequency analysis. They build bots to scrape every message in real time. Still, most messages remain undeciphered. Even with software, the encryption is maddening. Some posts are hundreds of characters long, others only a few lines. But all of them feel intentional. Then, another shock. A858 begins replying to other posts on Reddit. Not just on its own subreddit, but in unrelated threads. In April of that year, a user posts a thread in Ask Reddit titled, "What's the creepiest thing you've ever seen online?" And buried deep in the comments is a hexadecimal string from A858 DE45F56 BC99. Decoded, it says, "You have seen nothing yet." The post is quickly deleted, but screenshots survive. Now, paranoia sets in. Is A858 just a puzzle? Or something more active? Is it watching Reddit as a whole? Some users joke it's an AI. Others aren't laughing. A new theory takes hold, that A858 is not one person, but a collective, or a program, an intelligence, testing humans for something. Soon, users start noticing that the subreddit goes quiet for long stretches. No posts, no clues, just silence. Then, without warning, a burst of activity. 10 messages in 1 hour. Each one a riddle more complex than the last. Was someone testing server load? Time-based response? Or just toying with the watchers? Then came the most haunting post yet. One that wasn't encrypted at all. Just 5 words. Silence is the correct response. And after that, nothing. For months, the subreddit goes completely dark. No posts, no comments, no sign of life. People begin to worry. Some whisper, the experiment is over. Or worse, something went wrong. Theories spiral. Did someone get too close? Did the creators pull the plug? Was it government? Or something far stranger? And just when the community begins to give up hope, on October 16th, another message appears. It's a short one, just 25 characters. Encrypted, of course. But this time, it doesn't decode to English. It decodes to ASCII art, a symbol, an eye inside a triangle. The internet goes wild. The all-seeing eye, Illuminati, Freemasons. Suddenly, it's no longer just a puzzle. It's a message with weight, with history, with myth. A new layer opens, and people are more obsessed than ever. But no matter how deep they dig, they still don't know one thing. Who is behind A858? And why are they watching? Or worse, why are they waiting? Part 4. Code and Consequences. Reddit was no stranger to oddity. But by 2014, A858 had become legend. Decoders from every corner of the internet were obsessed. A dedicated subreddit, A858 coded, popped up. Every strange post from the original account was archived, duplicated, and dissected. Mathematicians, cryptographers, even casual Redditors, they tried everything, from simple substitution to modular arithmetic, from ROT13 to advanced cipher algorithms. They worked in groups. They created decoding threads. Some built custom programs. Others used brute force. But the wall was high, and almost none of it made sense. Then, someone cracked it. In May of 2014, a user named Johan/Larson posted a stunning breakthrough. He had deciphered a post from A858. It read, "The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog." A pangram, a sentence using every letter in the alphabet, used by typists and font designers for generations. Was this a joke? A test? A warm-up exercise? But it didn't stop there. In the following months, more decodings surfaced. Some of the messages were in plain English. Others contained what looked like structured data, JSON files, even bitmap images encoded in hexadecimal. One of the strangest decoded entries revealed the sentence, "When I was a child, I remember watching a TV show where people were not allowed to show emotion." Another one contained a collection of phrases about death, time, and identity. One read, "I died in the year of the rat. I was reborn in the year of the dog." Each successful decode only deepened the mystery. Who was this person? Why were they embedding secret files inside Reddit posts? And why post it publicly? There were no usernames or handles in the decoded content, no clear ideology, no political leaning, no demands, no call to action. It was maddeningly neutral. Eventually, the moderators of A858 Decoded took a bold step. They posted a direct message, publicly tagging A858 with a simple question. "Can you please post something we can decode?" And then it happened. The A858 account responded. Not with a reply, not with words, but with another cryptic post, just hours after the message. Some interpreted it as a yes, a sign that the account was watching, listening. From that point on, some of the posts seemed deliberately easier to crack, others impossibly complex. But then, the decodings revealed something disturbing. One of the messages, buried in lines of binary, decoded into a strange ASCII image. It depicted a silhouette of a man, standing next to something resembling a door. Overlaid text read, "Prepare. The doors will open soon." The subreddit exploded. Some thought it was performance art. Others, an ARG. Some said it was a recruitment test. For what? No one knew. But the tone had changed. The code no longer felt playful. It felt deliberate. People began compiling timelines, correlating A858's posts to real-world events, trying to find patterns. They found nothing solid, just speculation, connections too abstract to confirm. And then, just as the momentum surged, A858 went silent. No new posts, no responses, no activity. Redditors were baffled. Did they scare the person off? Had they passed some invisible test? Had the doors already opened? Weeks turned to months. Then, After nearly a year, a new post. Same style, same pattern, same meaningless, or maybe not so meaningless, code. It was back. But this time, people were watching differently. Not just Redditors, not just hobbyists. People noticed that entire threads about A858 were disappearing from certain forums. Accounts were being banned for posting too many decoding attempts. Whispers began to circulate. Was someone trying to control the narrative? What started as a riddle had become something more, and in the shadows, a figure, anonymous, persistent, and eerily silent, continued to post. Part 5. The Code Breakers. They weren't hackers. They weren't spies. They weren't even cryptographers. They were regular people, scattered across the globe, students, engineers, night shift workers, brought together by curiosity and obsession. When the Reddit account A858 began its deluge of strange posts, it didn't take long before a subreddit formed, A858 DECODED. It wasn't official. It wasn't endorsed by the poster, but it became the epicenter of the code-breaking effort. At first, the participants were met with walls of base 64 strings, hexadecimal patterns, and what looked like pure gibberish. But slowly, patterns emerged. A user named Mugumbo decoded one of the earliest messages using base 64, then ROT13, then a substitution cipher, all layered. The result? A quote from Carl Sagan. Another cracked string decoded into "Everything is connected." These weren't just codes. They were messages, some philosophical, some poetic, some chilling. One post decoded into "There is no reality, only the illusion of meaning." The deeper the puzzles got, the harder they became. Soon, A858 began posting image files with embedded data, steganography, obscure encoding schemes. A few posts used prime number spacing, a technique only seen in advanced mathematics and cryptography. Others mimicked the format of ciphertext used in Cold War espionage. This was no longer a game. It felt deliberate, professional. Some users began to suspect A858 wasn't just a bored coder, but maybe a group, or even a government experiment. Posts began showing UTC timestamps, matching activity windows in the late-night hours of North America. Others matched European morning times. Was it one person or several? Then came the breakthroughs. Using advanced tools, forum members decrypted several posts that turned out to be ASCII-rendered art, highly detailed portraits built entirely from code. One depicted a woman's face, half obscured. Another was a swirling spiral, haunting, elegant, and hypnotic. Why go through such effort just to post coded artwork? Unless the act of decoding was the point. Some users began logging every post into databases, comparing post times, patterns, character frequency. Others built custom decoders, trying to identify unique encryption layers. The subreddit grew, and so did its obsession. One user confessed, "I dream about these codes now. I wake up wondering if I missed a post. This has taken over my life." They weren't alone. A858 wasn't just communicating. They were shaping behavior, pulling strangers into a net of riddles. turning passive observers into participants. In 2012, a major discovery rocked the subreddit. A user claimed to have decoded a long post that contained GPS coordinates. They matched a location in the Nevada desert. No town, no road, just sand and silence. Was it a joke? A test? Nobody knew. Then, A858 responded. For the first time, they replied to a comment. Only once. The message? Congratulations, you have seen. That was it. No follow-up, no clarification. The thread exploded. Did someone get too close? One moderator of the decoding subreddit began receiving strange messages, some anonymous, some encrypted. They were warned, the code is not for you. Then the account went dark for 3 days. When it returned, it posted a new format of code. More complex, less readable, almost intentionally obfuscated. It was as if A858 had seen the subreddit grow and decided to change the game. Around this time, a few users began digging into the metadata. They found that many of A858's posts were made through a third-party API, not Reddit's official interface. Others noticed IP logging inconsistencies, suggesting the poster was using multiple VPNs or relay servers. One theory emerged. A858 isn't trying to hide. They're trying to be seen by the right person. But who? The community grew uneasy. A few veteran members stopped posting altogether. A rumor spread that one decoder had received a phone call in the middle of the night. No voice, just static. Of course, it could all be theater, just paranoia. But what if it wasn't? What if this mystery had moved from the digital world into the real one? And if so, how much further could it go? Part 6. The Last Signal. For years, the subreddit r/A858DE45CTR remained a place of ritualized mystery. Thousands of cryptic posts, patterns no one could follow, responses that were always silence. But then, on April 20th, 2016, something changed. The messages stopped. No final cipher, no farewell code, just nothing. The signal went dark. Months passed, then years. And like all internet obsessions, interest began to fade. But then, in early 2021, something unexpected happened. The account posted again. A simple message. No code, no puzzle, just a statement. Archiving this subreddit. Thank you. And for many who had been watching since the beginning, that message said more than any cipher ever could. Because it wasn't just an archive. It was closure. A curtain falling on a performance few understood, but many felt. Yet, others weren't convinced. They believed the post wasn't goodbye. It was a breadcrumb. Another step in the puzzle. They started looking deeper into the subreddit's metadata, into the timing of the post, into the specific syntax of archiving this subreddit. Some claimed to find hidden patterns in the exact hour and minute it was posted. Others analyzed the post's unique Reddit ID, believing it could correspond to GPS coordinates, or even a private encryption key. The theories multiplied again, but this time, the community was quieter. Tired, maybe. Wiser, definitely. And then came the strangest idea yet. That this entire experiment wasn't about ciphers. It was about us. About how humans seek meaning. About how communities form from shared confusion. About how silence can be the loudest message of all. One user wrote, "I think A858 wasn't trying to tell us anything. They were watching us try to understand. That was the experiment." Another added, "What if we were the code? All our posts, all our speculation, the replies, the red herrings, what if that was the message?" And suddenly, the entire puzzle inverted. A performance art piece, an interactive psychological mirror. Not meant to be solved, but to be observed. Some believe A858 was a lone cryptographer, a genius hiding in plain sight. Others think it was an AI experiment, a sandbox to test natural language response, behavioral tracking, groupthink. Still others, more skeptical, claim it was all just noise, random junk, a prank that got out of hand. But here's the part that no one talks about. Even if the codes were gibberish, even if none of it meant anything, people came together. They formed bonds. They taught each other encryption. They stayed up at night, chasing impossible clues. And for many, that experience was the reward. Today, R/A858DE45CTR remains archived, frozen, like a tomb sealed in digital amber. No new posts, no answers, only whispers. And in those whispers, some still claim to hear something. A hidden signal, a new cipher, a reason to start again. Because, in the end, some puzzles were never meant to be solved. They were meant to haunt.